Hi, this is Ammar Killu with Fits on the Go, Washington, D.C., ACC 2014. It's my absolute pleasure to have Dr. Bruce Fry, who's a former ACC president. Dr. Fry, thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm delighted to have this opportunity to contribute something to this enterprise that you're supervising. The American College of Cardiology is a remarkable organization. As you know, it's now 65 years old. It really does bring together leaders of academic cardiology with clinicians in an attempt to bring forth the most current knowledge. And I think one of the challenges is the amount of current knowledge is like an avalanche and a tsunami all rolled into one. That's one of the things that I think has changed over the course of my career. Subspecialization within cardiology is now almost mandatory because there's so much to know, and the acceleration in terms of the amount of new knowledge is really, I think, overwhelming for almost everyone.
Great. And someone who has such a good grasp of the history of medicine, history of cardiology, where do you see cardiology going in the future?
Well, I think once again, there are so many individuals around the world now contributing to new knowledge in so many ways. It's really hard to predict, although I think it's inevitable that progressive subspecialization will continue because, again, it's just too hard to keep up with everything. I think the science is incredible. Things that we could never have even imagined a generation ago are now commonplace. When I think of the way we treated patients with atrial fibrillation when I began my cardiology career literally a generation ago, and compare that now with the multitude of approaches that are used, it is absolutely overwhelming and rather intimidating. So I think the American College of Cardiology provides so many educational opportunities to help individuals keep up with this very fast-paced specialty. It's terrific.
Great. And any special recommendations you can give for the fellows in training?
Well, it's hard to know. I once was asked just around the turn of the century, what could I say about the future of cardiology? And I explained that I don't do the future, I do the past. But on the other hand, I do think it does provide some additional perspective on how we got to where we are, which presumably gives a better sense of where we're headed. I think we are headed, though, into a certain period of unknown, many unknowns, in fact, in terms of American healthcare. Obviously, resources are limited. I think one of the great challenges we face is the sort of the collision of what has been called the technological imperative, and we see that certainly in cardiology with implantable defibrillators, now with aortic valve devices, catheter implantations, and the age limits have sort of been popped off, and the comorbidities have been sort of, at times, I think, overlooked. So I think one of the real challenges for the next generation of cardiologists and for the country is to figure out how to use these technologies to advantage to really help patients rather than just say, gee, we can do it, let's do it.
Great. One final question. What's your favorite thing to do here in Washington, D.C.?
Stay out of the rain. No, no, actually, I think my favorite thing to do in Washington is really to take advantage of the extraordinary museums that are here. And they're all free, and they are extraordinary. So I would encourage anyone who's not been to Washington to add extra days or come back and take advantage of the remarkable riches that are collected here in the nation's capital.
Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Fry.